Okay. Welcome to another episode of Connect and Politic. We're here with a special guest. Please introduce yourself by telling us your name, where you're currently located, and your favorite snack.
My favorite snack. Okay. My name is Efe. I am in Atlanta, Georgia. And my favorite snack is dark chocolate.
Nice. Any special brand?
Not really. I just really like, and I don't eat it that much, but it's just one of
Uh,
those.
nice, nice.
Actually, I
Uh,
lied. The barks, those barks with the almonds, you gotta try
yeah.
it.
the,
Barks.
the, the interesting thing is I'm not a chocolate person at all.
Oh,
Like, yeah, I know. It's like I'm so out of this world, but yeah, people love chocolate, and I, it's hard for me to like. I don't get it, but people love it. It is what it is. Do you remember your favorite food as a child?
ooh, a favorite food as a child? Um, I don't think I do. I can tell you, I know some things I used to like, you know,
Okay,
and it could just be one.
let's do two. Let's do your top two that you remember as a child.
I really don't remember. But okay, I used to love okra soup. I'm Nigerian, so I
Okay,
used to love okra soup when I was younger, and probably cereal just because I still love cereal now. So
okay. What
those
what
two.
uh what type of cereal?
Um, man, see, that's a good question. See, when I was younger, I'm like the youngest in the family, so I was put on to all these nutritional cereals early. So it was more
Uh,
like honey bunches of oats and like
okay.
grape nuts, all the healthy cereals I got into, fiber ones.
Yeah,
So yeah, cereals like that. I didn't get to
okay.
do all the Captain Crunches and all that.
Yeah. The classics. Um, what is your fondest memory from childhood?
My fondest memory, I don't know. There's a lot, I guess. And again, it could just be in any context.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
A lot.
This is your show.
My fondest memory would be, I don't know. um, what would be my fondest memory? I can't think. I'm
Do you
still
have this?
thinking.
No, that's fine. Do you have a series of memories? Maybe I don't know in high school, in middle school. You said you're from Nigeria, so in Nigeria, or were you?
Okay, maybe my fondest memory would be winning class president in high school.
And what grade was this?
Well, this was like 10th. Yeah, it was 11th
Okay.
actually. You want younger than that?
No.
Okay.
It's your story. Um, and what's fond about it?
I guess all I had to go through in order to get it, and then finally, having that victory. Uh, it was a lot of hurdles. I was like kicked out of the race at first, and they wanted me to win, but just being able to have the support and finally being able to win it, kind of made it something that I think stands out,
Yeah.
memorable for me.
How do you think your childhood helped groom you into the person you are today?
Um, I mean, just being a product of my environment, again, being the youngest, I feel I was born kind of into like a quote unquote older family. So I definitely had a different perspective growing up, probably a lot more mature than my age, but just, I think just being observant, learning from my elders, all that kind of shaped me into the person I am today.
And what do you think did you grow up with your parents?
I did.
Or
I grew with my
yeah.
parents, yes.
And what are the most important lessons you learned from your parents?
Definitely hard work. Both of my parents were entrepreneurs, so I definitely saw them, in the trenches. I also saw them when they succeeded. Um, you know, putting God first, making sure that's always, the first thing we always do, just a constant in your life in general. Um, and just loving others, the way you want to be loved, or, just being able to treat others the way you want to be treated. I think they definitely made sure all three of those were like ground rules for us. Just making sure you treat people with respect and know that you can, get anything you want so long as you work hard for it.
So, uh, you said you grew up you was the youngest in an older family. What do you mean when you say older? Are your parents are older or your siblings are older?
My siblings are older, so
Oh,
they're all like 8 to 11 years older than me.
wow.
So I was like in my own league.
And what was that dynamic like?
Honestly, it kind of felt like an only child type of thing, just because they were out of the house, very early in my life. So from
Yeah.
first grade, people are going to college. People are, so so that's why it kind of felt that way.
Yeah.
But I still think it was a very interesting dynamic because again, I was able to learn from people that were already in, these stages. So
Yeah.
everyone always just called me more mature for my age. I would always want to hang out with older people, or little stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah. And what are your favorite things to do for self care?
for self-care, man, sleep. Sleep is like number one. Just catching up on it. Being able to understand that I need it. That was hard for me at first, but I just understand that's very important. Um, and just finding, I'm simple, I just need peace and quiet, just me time. I don't have to go anywhere. It could be a walk, but those are like, I feel like those are my top little principles in order to get myself back together and care for myself. Just
Yeah.
alone time anywhere I can find it.
Yeah. So speaking about sleep, are you 8 hour must type person, 10 hours, and then are you a napper as well?
I wish I could do 8 hours. It never works. Like ever. I don't even know if I do 6. I probably do like maybe 6. I was talking, I was telling my brother the other day, like my body is just so, I don't know, it's conditioned to wake up like middle of the morning. I wake up at like 4 all
Wow.
the time, no matter whenever I sleep. It's a good and a bad thing,
Yeah.
like early bird
Yeah.
before, but then I'm
Yep.
just tired. But I try to nap when I can. If I can get a nap in, yes, but it's not always something I can get in.
Nice. Nice. Is there something that you're looking forward to that excites you?
Yeah. I mean, the future. I'm looking forward to everything in general. I have a company. We just relaunched our platform, so that's exciting for me, and seeing where it's going, and seeing the feedback that we're getting from people. So things like that. My family is growing. I'm excited to see that. So yeah, just watching my kids grow up. These are all things that excite me,
Yeah.
or that I look forward to. Sorry.
Yeah. They're both exciting, and you're looking forward to them. So, speaking of, I mean, you alluded to this. You brought this up. Your company. So, what do you do professionally, and how did you get to where you are?
Yes. So I have a event tech startup. It's called Vendor Space. And what we created was a marketplace that connects organizers and vendors. So being able to have this database of vendors at your fingertips in any city. And I've just always done events. I've been doing events for like over 12, 13 years now. My background comes from event production, doing like concerts, festivals, things of that nature. So it's just a passion of mine. And then it kind of led me into the event tech field in terms of building like a platform that actually helps doing, simplifying the world of events. So that's how I got into it, and that's what I do now.
Nice. And what is this platform called? What's the name of it?
Called Vendor Space.
Vendor Space.
Yes.
Got it. All right. Is there something on your bucket list to learn?
Yes, I would love to learn how to fluently speak Igbo. That is on my bucket list. That's my native language. I can hear it, a little bit. I'm probably like about, I'd say like 55%. But that would be one of my top things I want to make sure I do before I leave this. Does
any of your siblings or your parents, are they fluent?
My parents are fluent, yeah. Okay. We joke about this all the time. Like, I guess they just gave up on me because I was so young. so my sister, she's the first. She's fluent. She understands. She can speak it. The middle two, they don't, they're boys. They weren't really into it. But yeah, by the time I came around, my mom admitted that, it was just a lot tougher. No one was around. Just learn English and go to school. So. But like my husband, he's Igbo, he's very fluent. So yes, I'm just,
you say your husband?
Kids now. Yeah.
So your husband is fluent as well?
Everyone's fluent except me.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He's like teaching my kids, and I feel so out of it. Like, this is not right. Y'all been trying to start talking about me behind my back.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it'll be easy for you to learn then. You're surrounded by it.
I'm surrounded by it, but yeah, I want to put more effort. That's like one of the bucket lists before end of year type of thing.
Yeah. What have you learned recently that changed your perspective on a subject, product, or idea?
Something I've learned recently, probably just being more open to like mistakes. I think I learned that from, just, it wasn't necessarily from like a book or anything, but just, just coming to my own and, being more observant of, what's stopping me, so to speak, or, what gets in your way. So definitely, yeah, just opening up and being more fluid with how things are flowing, and, allowing it to work in its own path and nature. And yeah.
Can you think of any advice that you would give your younger self?
What I would say to my younger self is definitely just dream bigger. I would say dream bigger. I've done quite a few things. I think, I would say dream bigger, keep going. But I say that just because I know when I was dreaming then, I thought these things were big. And again, it kind of ties back into what I thought was mistakes, but, you go down in life and things don't matter as much, a couple years later. So just allowing myself to push myself even harder and go even higher.
Yeah. Well, and what's the best advice you've received?
The best advice I've received is no one cares. That is the best advice ever. It's true. No one cares. And if you understand that and apply that, you can do anything. Like, don't worry about anybody. Don't worry about opinions. Don't worry about anything. Just no one really cares.
Where did you get this advice from? Like, was it like a parent or a sibling? Where did that come from? No one cares.
This is more like a mentor type situation. Like, basically trying to push you off the cliff, just jump, just go for it, do it.
Yeah.
It actually came about with the relaunch of the platform, when I'm kind of like a perfectionist and, you want every little thing to be right. So it's like, look, just do it. No one was waiting for you. You know, no one really, just go for it. You can fix it along the way, but, you know, just understanding that you don't have to always keep being the one that stops yourself.
Yeah. Huh. Good. Uh, what has been the toughest thing you've had to tackle, and what helped you get through it?
The toughest thing I had to tackle was motherhood. uh, I always used to say I definitely was probably the last person to have gotten, or I would have expected, or anyone that knows me would have expected to get pregnant. But, you know, it's a whole new world, you know, and I wasn't really one of those mother type people, you know, but you adjust. It's something that you have to do. But what helped me get through it, I think in a weird roundabout way, having my business as an outlet to do something and kind of lift me up on the confidence level, you know. And I'm only saying that because when I got into motherhood, it's just so new. You know, you got a responsibility of taking care of a life. You know, all these things are really heavy duties, and it was hard at first. And you know, there's things like postpartum depression that I wasn't aware about, but that I did end up having. So, you know, just being able to you know, see myself outside of being a mother and grow in other ways has been helpful. And then also just finding outlets of other people. Like I started blogging and doing things like that. So that's been really helpful. But those probably have been the two main things that helped me get through it.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I think that's a good. You know, for one, it's good for folks to hear. You know that something as natural or that seems simple for a lot of folks um, isn't simple for everyone, and
Sure.
also, you know, the fact that you were able to use your business and your voice as a way to channel, you know, a different type of energy while you're still navigating motherhood is also a great message. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
When I say happy, what comes to mind?
My family. That's
And when you say family, you mean your immediate family, like your kids and your husband, or the entire, you know,
Oh, come on, man. They're
every.
going to see this, and I'm over here picking. You can't make me pick sides. I don't know. That's up for you guys to decide. No. Honestly, immediately, yes, it would be my husband and my kids. But I love all my family.
Oh man, that's good. That's good. What qualities or character traits do you admire in other people?
Honesty. That's like number one, being honest. Um, Man, that honestly, that could be the biggest thing for me. Honest, and then being nice, you know, I think that's also something, when I say nice, more so respectable, you know, everyone just having respect for one another. I think those are, honesty and respect are probably two big things for me. I can
Yeah,
get by on some other stuff.
good. Have you learned any new skills recently that you're excited about?
I feel bad. I should have. We've been stuck in the house for so long.
No, I mean when I say recently, it doesn't have to be the past 2 months or 3 months. It could even be the past year.
In the past year, what have I learned?
Yeah,
Man, I've learned some new recipes. I'm
that's,
learning, is that good?
that's great.
I have
Yeah,
learned some new recipes. Actually, you know what? I have learned some coding. And that
okay.
was, you know, that's definitely been exciting. Makes me want to learn some more about it. But yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe you can add learning Evo or becoming fluent in Evo.
Okay, see, catch me in next year. We're gonna say
Yes, that part two of this interview.
Exactly. We gotta
We'll
do a
12
follow.
months from now. uh, time for a fun question. If you won the lottery tomorrow, what will you do?
um, I would pay off all my debt first, and then from there, man, I start investing in stuff. Like I wouldn't want it to end. I'd start figuring out how we can start flipping it some more. But yeah, that's honestly what I would do.
Okay. So you pay up debt and invest.
I would, yes.
Yeah, good. When I say forgiveness, what comes to mind?
Forgiveness, what comes to mind? Letting go. Uh, yeah, forgiveness, letting go, allowing yourself to let go, allowing yourself to accept whatever, whatever needs to be forgiven, or which you're forgiven in both ways.
As a parent with young kids, what values are you hoping to imprint on them?
um, Hard work, honesty, respect, keeping God first. Yeah, that's what I would hope to instill in them and make sure they can take that all the way through. Um, and definitely having a sense of culture, understand that culture, understand where they're from. Yeah, I'm first generation American, so for them, it's like it always gets further as they go down the line for them being born here, born by, So I would definitely want to make sure they are heavily rooted in understanding, knowing who they are and where they come from.
So I think that what's interesting about what you just said is that those are the same things you said you learned from your parents. The
It's
exact
true. You want to pass it on, right? It's the truth. I think it worked out pretty well for me, so
yeah,
I would hope
that's,
to share it with them.
that's good. Um, is there anyone that you would like to thank or express your appreciation for that you haven't had the chance to yet?
Hmm. Um, and it could be anybody.
Anyone? Yeah.
I would. I would thank the first person that allowed me to manage them. I used to manage artists in college. So I'm saying that first person because they kind of opened the door into how I even ended up on this path today. So I would definitely thank them for believing in me to manage their career and how it also sprung off and doing 10,000 other things and getting into events and all that.
Yeah. Do you know their name?
Oh, I do. Sorry. His name is Deontay Muhammad. I didn't know how specific we wanted to get. But yes, Deontay, wherever you are, I thank you.
There you go. There you go. There you go. I think part of one reason I'm doing this is because I think it's important for folks to acknowledge folks while they're here. It's cliche and glib. Everyone says give them the roses, but everyone actually says that when someone passes, right? When someone can no longer receive it, and so I think just building the practice of showing appreciation and thanks to folks, especially when it's not expected. It's not, like in the transactional type of way where uh, someone does something for you right then and there and you say, thanks, that kind of stuff. When it's especially these, you know, like you said, this has been years now, and I'm sure, both of your lives have taken different paths, and, that would be something great to know that, he had some kind of impact on your life and where you are. So.
Definitely, yes. I hope this message reached him, and I hope that he could hear it. But definitely, you're right. And I totally agree with, we all have to do a lot more of that, right?
Yep.
Saying our thanks now while people are here.
Yep. All right. For our final question, how do you define success?
You got some good questions. Just wanted to let you know that. um, I define success as that's such a loaded question. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out the best way to answer it. I don't know which way to start. I feel like there's a lot of ways to look at it, but I mean,
Yeah, go. I mean, take it, take it.
I don't know. Like success is just. I think it's reaching your goals. But that's still loaded. I know it's so broad. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the right words for you. But I would say that it's finally finding that balance and reaching your goals and being able to obtain. I guess it depends on whatever your goal is, though. At the same time, whatever you're setting your milestones for, but I would say, depending on that, being able to reach that certain milestone, if it's breaking even, if it's getting 1 million followers, whatever, reaching your goal and milestone on your personal journey. So that's kind of how I define it. It's not like defined by a certain amount of money or anything, or I think it's kind of that.
No, that's good.
Okay, cool.
No,
Hope I answered. I was gonna say, I don't know.
it's the answer is your answer. So there's no the none of these questions they're right or wrong answers. It's always it's whatever your answer is right because that's part of your narrative. You know, so yeah, this is great. I think that's a good way to end. We connected, we politic,
Yes, we
and we
did.
will definitely do this again in the near future. The part two will be when you're fluent in Igbo. Uh,
Yes.
so thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
All
You
right.
have a good one.